With festival and event season fast approaching, you and your product deserve to be the center of attention.
With a unique mobile event trailer from Brant Mobile Rentals, you can leave your 10x10 pop-up tent packed up.
The trailer features 2 serving windows, multiple size fridges, and 4 taps for kegs on board, just to name a few features.
And a non-branded trailer allows you to add your own personal touch.
Visit BrantMobileRentals.ca or reach out for more information via email to info@BrantMobileRentals.ca
Or on their Instagram at Brant Mobile Rentals.
Welcome to Season 3 of the Craft Beer Connoisseurs podcast. I'm Tyler. If you're new to the podcast, we are 3 friends and a producer who like to showcase craft breweries and their beers. Also, we like to end every episode with a short conversation on a variety of different topics. If you're not new to the podcast, well, you know what to expect. The 3 connoisseurs haven't changed, and the producers are always a wild card. Whether you're new or returning, please feel free to listen to all of our previous content. And remember to follow us on Instagram at Craft Beer Cons, send a friend request on Untapped, or subscribe on YouTube at Craft Beer Connoisseurs. Also, drop a comment, like, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts. Now, for today's episode. Welcome to the Craft Beer Connoisseurs. I'm Tyler.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Brett. Along with us today is producer Aidan.
Hey, Aidan.
Hello.
Hi.
Tyler's so happy to see Aidan.
Yep. Did you guys like that earlier on when we did the whole yep thing?
Yeah.
I did actually.
Yeah,
That's
good.
good.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, no one knows what we're talking about. So in today's episode, we're going to be reviewing Shakespeare Brewing out of the village of Shakespeare.
Yes. And we're going to be, as always, having 2 beers in this episode. The first is the Grumpy Goat, which is an IPA. And the second is the Fryfogel Fox, which is a lager.
Hey, good job with your alliteration there.
Right? They were trying to screw me up, and
Yes.
I nailed it.
Yeah, we'll see if that trend holds
First
true.
take, too.
Yeah,
that was
first
the
take,
first
too, yeah.
take.
It's true. And to finish off today's episode, we're actually talking about some of our favorite food items just to throw in a couple more Fs. You guys good with that?
Yeah, let's alliterate all day.
There you go. We'll be right back. Okay. Doth art we back?
I knew there was going to be some Shakespeare done in here.
Some Shakespeare done down in here.
Done in here, yeah, that's really
we is going to be
Shakespearean.
doing that in here, Brett.
I should have, did some research on like Hamlet and all this, public schools in Stratford.
We could get to that. We could maybe talk about that a little bit after this because
Yeah.
I do have some information I could probably divulge in that.
Okay, good.
Anyways, Shakespeare Brewing is located at 21878 Line 34 in Shakespeare, which is in the Perth County, if you will.
It is in Perth County, yeah.
Right on Highway 8, sandwiched between a convenience store and a fire hall.
It's true. It's brewery, one side convenience store, one side fire hall.
Right. The bricks and mortar location used to be an old school bus garage.
Did.
Shakespeare was opened in July of 2017.
And you can tell it was an old garage because it has 2 garage doors that lift up.
Wow.
You right?
I mean, in fairness, half of craft breweries have garage doors that open up.
Must have been school bus garages, Chris.
This is a really big garage door.
So Shakespeare is owned by the husband and wife team of Aidan and Katie Goodrow.
Like Aidan, our producer?
No, different Aidan. Different Aidan. I know it was going to be confusing for me, but just for the listeners, no, it's a different Aidan.
Okay.
I think there must be a reason why we picked Aidan for this episode.
Well,
Anyway,
it's spelled different, right?
they are spelled different, according to their IDs. I haven't checked Aidan the brewer, like the guy who owns Shakespeare's ID, but I've checked his. His is spelled differently.
His is the guy that you're pointing at, which is the producer in this instance, for those who cannot see the
correct.
emphatic point.
This is correct. Anyway,
Did you card him before you came in to record
we card
today?
all producers.
Oh, I missed that part.
Yeah, usually you're not here for that, but today I was last.
It's an age of majority event.
That's fair.
All right, we're not serving.
Yeah, we're not serving underagers. We don't know who these producers are. We got to check their ID.
The Craft Beer Connoisseurs, if it's one thing we got, it's dignity, okay?
and apparently our smart serves. Anyway,
I don't care if this is a private event. We're carding everybody that comes through this door.
all right. Anyway, a little off track there, but we'll get back here. So the idea for Shakespeare came after a 9-month trip the couple took together in Europe. So while working on a farm in England, which had their own brewery to supply a pub on top of the hill, their brewer had hurt their back. So Aidan had to become the arms and legs, and Aidan learned how to brew beer.
Now, here's the best thing about this, right? Because the idea came after a 9-month trip.
Yeah.
I'm going to just put it out there and say this is probably the best gift you could have after 9 months. Coming back with a brewery idea, okay? Because there's things after 9 months, you're tied into that for 18 years, and hopefully Shakespeare Brewery lasts a little bit longer than 18 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So I wonder when in that 9-month trip the brewer is back and Aidan took over.
Day 2.
There was like with 2 weeks left. He's
all
like,
part of their-
I'll figure out how to brew
It was all
beer.
part of their master plan.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Or maybe they were planning to have like a 1-month trip, and he's like, I just want to keep brewing beer, and they just stayed for 9 months.
Yeah.
These things could have happened. Anyway, so once they returned to Canada, Aidan worked at Bell City in Brantford for 2.5 years, and Bell City had then purchased new equipment. So Aidan and Katie were able to purchase their Bell City's old equipment and moved to Shakespeare in order to start up the brewery.
Cool.
So something good came out of Brantford.
Yes, yes. You can. You're definitely living. No, I'm kidding. You lived there for a while.
I did.
Yeah.
You're right. And I got out.
Yeah, you got out. Yes, you did.
Got out when I could.
Yep.
So the beers themselves, they are brew on certified, which means that the beers are brewed with Ontario-grown barley and hops. So they focus on making sure that each beer has a specific character, whether it's through the can art or the story behind the beer or just the beer itself.
It's true. Now, some of their can art, let me tell you, okay, it's good stuff. It is some good stuff.
It's interesting for sure.
Right? And we'll kind of get into that in a little bit anyway. So, what is producer Aidan doing?
I know. Hey, I'm kind of getting lost in this too, but
You're right. Yeah, I'm also getting lost in this. Apparently, we did not check the technological skills on him, but that's okay. Anyway, so the brewery has the ability for its garage doors to be opened.
That works.
Yes,
Yeah.
up in the summertime, along with a picnic table patio. Through lockdowns, they did have the BYOC program, which is bring your own chair to the patio, which is pretty cool. We did that once, myself and my wife.
did we?
I wasn't there.
All a blur.
Yes. So in terms of that, I was actually one of the first people to know that Shakespeare is going to be becoming a brewery because they kind of walked into my place of work and asked for different things. I was not able to.
That's awfully vague.
Well, I'm trying not to go.
That is
full bore.
100% the work you do.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of different things.
I was saying I'm not trying to go full bore in terms of what they were looking for and what my work does, but I was able to steer them in the right direction.
Come into my place of employment and you will get a couple things. That's good. Yeah.
You're asking for things, I can give you things.
Yeah, we got
Come
things.
here and get things.
You need the things, we got the things.
I referred them to different
No
things.
problem.
If I don't have the things, I'll tell you where the things are.
Well, that's good. So you knew about it first.
Yeah, I was one
Now,
of the
did
first
they
people.
give you like a certificate for that, or
No, I
No.
just
A
knew
plaque?
that I was gonna have more stops than Shakespeare.
Did you get like a free beer or anything like that?
I mean, I've had a couple free ones there. Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. Well, if you're at the brewery, they do have some live music, along with an old school Nintendo 64 with a few classic games such as, NBA Jam or GoldenEye.
Yeah, maybe they don't
Maybe.
have them there yet, but they're working on it.
They may or may not be getting them. It's part of the things program.
It's true. Obviously, you did not read that part, but anyway.
It's been 6 years since they opened. They still haven't got all their things.
Fair enough.
It's imports, exports. It's very
yes.
difficult to understand.
But
Aiden
Aidan was very clear that the TV holds up with really good graphics when you're playing the N64.
So what games do they have?
I didn't
Not
check
NBA
that.
Jam.
I just knew it was NBA Jam or GoldenEye.
GoldenEye.
All right. Well, they also have a few classic board games, I think. Since then, they've been able to expand inside a little bit. So that allows for more space for board games like maybe Twister or something like that.
Yes.
That's true. Now, if the lack of games on the 64 that Chris previously mentioned, or the board games don't cut it for you, they do have events. And so in the month of May, we can tell you that some of these events are over. The first one... The first one that was listed by Aidan, the producer, was for May the 4th. So May the 4th be with you. It's past. But tomorrow.
Hold on. how did they have May the 4th? They had a around the world trivia event, but they didn't have a Star Wars trivia event.
Maybe because the Millennium Falcon was going around the world. I don't know. Tough to say. Now, tomorrow we have Jeff and Trish music duo from 6 to 8 p.m.
There you go.
And then next Thursday, general pub trivia. Okay, $5 or free for BSP members. Teams of 2 to 4. So you be bringing a 5? You're saying now this is like curling.
You could also have a team of 3.
That's true. You could, but if somebody brings a team of 5, maybe you get that 5th guy on that team of 3. Bada bing, bada boom. The 28th of this month, we got Brian Gardner music, 6 to 8. So a real big 2-hour set by the looks of it from 6 to 8 p.m. So if you're looking for some music, generally on a Friday evening, Shakespeare's the place to be.
And trivia on Thursdays, looks like.
Yes. Anyway, we should probably get back to the beers, eh? Shouldn't we?
Well, we're talking about the brewery.
Yeah, I'm talking about the beers now.
Okay.
So on Untapped.
How can we get back to something that we weren't even on?
Trying to segue, my friend. Anyway, on Untapped, Shakespeare has created 25 different beers with an average rating of 3.1 out of 5. Okay. Myself, I have had 17 beers, the top rated being the Strawberry Vanilla Milkshake.
Oh, you love that beer.
I do love that beer. I will say the first version of it was absolutely dynamite. The versions since haven't necessarily got up to the hype of the first one. Producer Aidan can agree with me on this one. It's still a good beer. It's just not what it was the first time, but it's still a really good beer.
So your first time was the best time?
My first time was the best time.
Nice. All right. For myself, I've had 7. The highest was the Bubbling Bear Blueberry Wheat, which was 3.75. And I believe I had this out of a growler with producer Aidan around a campfire, which was just absolutely beautiful. We were not the only 2 people there, Brad. I know where you're going.
No. I do want to segue this for a little bit.
You were on this segue.
I know, right?
Let me tell you.
So there was a time when you had posted a Shakespeare picture of the orange ginger beer.
You want to do that now?
Yeah. Let's do that now.
Okay, do it now.
Because we're speaking of Untapped. It just makes sense, right?
Yeah.
And then, I don't know if it was a day later, a couple days later, or a couple hours later. I don't know that exact time frame. Mm-hmm. But somebody else had posted the exact same picture of this beer that you had shared.
It's true.
On their own Untapped.
It was producer Aidan and myself had the beer. And
at Aidan's house.
Yeah. With the backyard of Aidan's place. And yeah.
And then all of a sudden,
I believe ripped our photo off.
Yeah, just ripped like total copyright. And I believe
you didn't know this person, right?
No clue. Just went on to Untapped and just posted it as their own. Saw it because we pay attention to Shakespeare's beer,
right?
Which they should just call it Shakespeare, if you would. And that was hilarious because we're like, hey, so I reached out to the fella.
Yes.
I said, hey, nice picture you got there, pal. And was like, oh, no. And then completely blocked me from everything. Untapped, everything else, gone. And you know what? If you're out there and you're listening, let me tell you, that picture, that's our picture. It's Craft Beer Connoisseur picture now. Yeah.
Anyway, it was just a funny story.
It was like, who does that? Who goes on and is like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to take that picture and put it in my picture and post that same beer.
I mean, maybe it's a compliment. He's like, this picture is so nice. I want to have it.
It was a damn good picture, but also he wasn't there.
Yeah, but not only that, but it wasn't the best picture. Like, we went through some of the pictures. There were some better pictures. It was just like, okay, like it was on one of those like fold up chairs that had like the pop out like kind of TV tray on it. It wasn't great.
Maybe
and this guy was not sitting on that chair, the TV chair, or anything like that.
You're really stuck on if you guys at home don't understand, the guy was not there. Okay? We don't know.
We don't know who this person is. All right. Well, segue. Myself, I have had 2 beers from Shakespeare. The Strawberry Vanilla Milkshake was my highest rated at 3.5. And speaking of settings, I believe I had that in my garage with you, Tyler.
You certainly did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to get the producers?
Sure. So Aidan has had 21 beers from Shakespeare. So he beats you, Brett.
21 out of 25. Look at that.
He hasn't given any things, but he's got things from them.
He's got the imports. He hasn't given the exports.
So his highest rated was also the Strawberry Vanilla Milkshake at 4.75.
Yes. So I want to touch a little bit about the can art in terms of what they do at Shakespeare.
Now, before we go
Yeah.
on with that, is we don't have any actual cans in front of us at this time. So this is just you talking about can art in general.
Yes.
So you should have no issues with this.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
So they usually involve Shakespeare or some 1800s kind of stuff in some way, shape, or form.
I think Shakespeare was before the 1800s, but
Yeah, close enough.
I immediately regret what I said. Just set you up.
1700s, 1600s, whatever. So, for example, the Strawberry Vanilla Milkshake is a picture of William Shakespeare, except his head is a strawberry. Okay? Their bumbling bear is a blue bear dressed in like the 1800s attire and like a beret with a feather sticking out of it. And like the one eyeglass. I don't actually know what they call it. Like the one eyeglass.
Monocle?
Monocle, thank you.
Monocle.
Okay.
Yep.
It's very, very clever counter. And we'll see that actually with the Grumpy Goat and the Fryfogel.
I'm sure you'll have no problem talking about those ones either.
Oh, I will not. But can you tell us the hours at the brewery, please?
Absolutely. So they are open Thursday to Friday from 12 to 6. The hours, of course, are extended if there's live music.
Or trivia.
As we told you. Yeah, or trivia. And then Saturdays and Sundays from 12 to 4. They're also available at the Stratford Farmers Market every Saturday from 7 in the morning until 12.
Yes, sir.
There you go. So, of course, if you want to get a hold of their beer or get a hold of them, we're going to link to their information on our social media.
Yes, sir. And we're going to move on to act number 1.
Okay, we're going to have our first beer here in Act 1. So, big thank you to Aidan, again, not the producer, but Aidan at Shakespeare and Katie for the beers on today's episode. So, thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Aidan clapping for Aidan. And also a big shout out, Brett, to your daughter.
Yes.
So I hear that she was the one who...
No, you were the one who clapped.
She was the one who picked out the 2 beers that we're going to have today.
Yes, that we are.
Awesome.
Is she also going to explain the can art?
She'd probably do a better job than I would.
Not wrong. So the first beer we're going to have today is the Grumpy Goat, which is an IPA, and it comes in at 6% ABV with 60 IBUs.
Yes. So the Grumpy Goat is an IPA based on bitterness, since it's the goat's middle name. This beer will bring powerful pine-like flavor, which is complemented by a sharp hop aroma. The goat will headbutt you with excessive use of both Zeus and Chinook hops. And just so you know, the goat is still grumpy. I don't know why it's still grumpy, but it is.
There you go.
So you can go.
Yes.
You can follow us on Instagram at Craft Beer Cons and on Untapped at Craft Beer Connoisseurs. The rating for this beer is 3.49 out of 5 with 691 check-ins. We'll get confirmation from Producer Aidan, make sure that is true. And currently, right now, it sits at 11 5 out of 5s. Again, we're going to get confirmation on that. Well, Aidan's looking that up. Let's kind of go off script here.
Okay.
And we kind of mentioned it. You put a little pin in earlier on about Shakespeare and the ties to Stratford. Did anybody learn Shakespeare? And if you did, when did you learn it?
It'd be like grade 4, grade 5.
Define learn. Like,
When was it
Yesterday.
first taught to you?
we read Shakespeare books. We read one play every year in English in high school. That was my first introduction to Shakespeare.
Same with Aidan. For me, I started learning Shakespeare in grade 2.
Yikes.
Yeah, so we had a teacher, Mrs. Burdett, and she has Shakespeare for Kids. I believe you can find her books. I'll give it a little shameless plug for her. I believe on Amazon. They're out there. But Lois Burdett, Shakespeare for Kids, good teaching resource. And I don't know how she got around it, but the kids would do all the drawings for the Shakespearean plays, so they would focus on like A Midsummer Night's Dream, and then she would write a book of shortened versions of what that play was. And the artwork was by the kids in the class. And then she published that. So you can see some of that. So that was done at the school I went to, which was happening named Hamlet. Because all the schools, pretty well for elementary in Stratford, are named after Shakespearean plays.
Including one that is Shakespeare.
There was Shakespeare. There was Romeo, Juliet. There was King Lear, Hamlet, Bedford.
Mm-hmm. Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway was another one, yeah.
Juliet's not there anymore, but anyway,
No.
that's the point.
Neither is King Lear.
True.
And there was Avon as well. But anyways, just wanted to go on a little
There it
tangent
is.
there. And thank you, Aidan, for getting the confirmation on that. There's still 691 check-ins, overall 3.49, and the 11 5 to 5s. All right. Let's grab our cans, and let's grab our glasses, and let's open her up.
I will happily note, no spillage.
Yes, it was a good opening. So this is an IPA, so of course we are drinking this out of an IPA glass, so make sure to use your proper glassware.
Very good. All right, what are you guys seeing here? What kind of IPA are we dealing with? What are we working with here, fellas?
Let's like on the West Coast style.
It
I would
does
say.
look very West Coast,
I would
doesn't
definitely agree, especially when we see that there were 60 IBU. That's saying West Coast to me. But yeah, on the color, it's kind of like a brown copper-ish color. Yes,
That is
it?
correct, yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, absolutely.
Okay.
I've got about 2 fingers on the horizontal head here. If you're doing a Brett vertical head, probably about a full hand. Tough to say. Adjuncts, though, eh? Brett, you do have about 4 fingers.
Yeah.
Oh, you poured a big head.
I did.
Yeah.
Grumpy
I
over
don't
I was
really-
grumpy over here.
I don't really have anything kind of floating around in mine. Mine's actually quite clear.
Okay. Might just be the glass. Might be a little bit of the glass. There's a couple of marks on mine, so I don't know if that's adjuncts inside of it or not.
I'm thinking it might be, well, actually, I did see one floating around there. If you get it right up in the nice light there, you can see a few
there's
adjuncts
some, there's
going in
some.
there. Oh, well, got blinded by the light by Producer Aidan there.
What's with these producers with their phone lights?
I don't understand them. I simply don't.
Yeah, I don't even know why we have producers. It still beats me. I don't know. I've been doing this for like 2.5 years. I still have no idea why.
I don't know. They had good content. What do you guys smell? You guys smell anything? Ooh, I like that.
Kind of sweet.
Yeah, sweet caramel almost.
There's a sweet kind of like breaded kind of caramel to it.
Yeah. No, that smells nice. Not really, the kind of typical smell that you would expect from an IPA, actually.
No, and that's kind of what I was thinking too. Is it'll be kind of interesting to see how this one tastes. We should taste it.
Oh, good idea.
Wow, that kind of came together nicely.
It did.
All right, I'm going to taste it. Chris, you talk.
Duck.
I'm just going to taste it as well.
What'd you say?
Duck?
I said you talk.
Oh, talk.
Duck?
I thought you were saying
Duck.
duck, like something's going to happen.
Goose.
Mighty Ducks.
Mighty Ducks, okay. How do you guys like it?
I do like it, actually. I mean, obviously, I've had this before. I haven't had it in a while, though.
Oh, obviously.
I don't know if
I
you knew
mean,
this, but this was
quite.
pretty obvious. It was
Quite, yes. Producer
17.
Aidan's had it, too. Let's be serious. Whoa! 21 out of 25. Never picked one of these up. Look at him.
Oh, don't you look like a
I look like an idiot.
Like a ghost.
Not the first time on this podcast.
All right, yeah. Are you getting into it, Chris? Or
I am.
have you
I-
had an opportunity to, or
You just caught me mid-sip there.
I do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting... it's actually kind of boozy. That's kind of coming through to me.
There's a bit of a booziness to it. I'm getting some of the malts, some of the caramel
Yeah.
kind of flavor.
Almost getting like a little bit of like a... And like it's not. I know it's not like peanut butter, but almost. I'm trying to. Could just be the malt that's being used here.
I could see where
like
you're kind of coming from.
Kind of deal. I know it's not peanut. I'm just trying to figure out like what it could be.
Are you getting maybe it like
Almost like a roasted, like a...
Yeah, like maybe like a roasted nut.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see that.
yeah, I was just gonna say it's almost like a non-chocolate O. Henry. Is that kind of where
yeah,
you're kind of
that's fair.
falling in a little bit of like a non-chocolate
So
coated?
peanuts.
Well, with the caramel.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Right? It kind of fits in there a little bit.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes,
Yeah,
pretty-
I think definitely from the malt flavor or the malts that they used. I think that's definitely coming through the most. Not, it is a West Coast IPA, but you're not getting a lot of that, citrusy or fruit flavor of any kind really coming through.
And that was my mistake. Producer Aidan has had the Grumpy Goat, which is a double IPA version of the Grumpy Goat. So he's had a goat before, just the really mad one.
Now, the flavor profile of the Zeus hop, I just want to kind of like bring that up because I looked it up because I was kind of curious because we haven't really seen a lot of Zeus hops, right?
No, we have not. No.
Have aroma descriptors that kind of include a little bit pungent, black pepper, licorice, and curry.
Interesting.
Now, again, that's just aroma, right? And I'm kind of getting some of that black pepper now,
yeah, now that you say that, yeah.
you know, just on the nose itself. But
Interesting.
I know, Chris, you're not a big fan of black licorice or anything like that.
No, I'm
so-
not a big fan of black licorice. I do like black pepper, though.
Yep.
yeah, on the nose, there she be.
Well, Brett, you were talking about how unique the cans are before.
I was, yes.
What does this can look like?
So,
Oh, here we
this
go.
can. Okay. As you can kind of tell, probably it has a goat on it. Let's be serious
As you can tell, as you
Everyone can tell.
As we
from the
just-
picture that you're looking at on Instagram while watching it,
There
you're
you
listening
go.
to this. Yes.
Okay.
See, so the goat is got his arms crossed. I'm assuming he's standing on his legs for this. You can see his. I believe they call them what, hooves, right? Is that what
Yeah.
they call them? Yeah.
Oh,
thank
there you
you.
go.
Behoo-
Do
behoof of
goats
you.
have 2 legs and 2 arms, or do they just have 4 legs?
They have 4 legs, but for the purpose of the picture, he is standing on his bottom legs.
Okay.
And crossing his top legs. Does that make
Okay.
more sense to you?
Yes, that makes more sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Now he also does. I don't know exactly what is the preferred term. It's like the Shakespeare thing where like you have like the white puffy stuff.
Do you know what that's called? Do
No.
you want me to tell you?
Yes, please.
It's called a ruff.
A ruff. So he's wearing a ruff. That's what he's wearing.
There you go.
Yeah.
Good job, Brad.
But still, it's very, very clever can art, and you'll see it on our Instagram along with the other ones that will post of the beers that we've had. But like
The goat's also chewing a little bit.
chewing some cud, yeah, just some grass.
He's also green.
Yeah. Probably grumpy he's not having this beer.
Maybe.
But not as grumpier as the other goat.
right.
Yeah, the other goat was grumpier. You're right about that.
There you go. Interesting.
Yeah, it's good stuff though. Anyway,
Good job. Good job, Brett. You did a good job at describing that.
What about the top 5 flavor profiles?
I was
that
just gonna roll into
describe
that, yeah.
this
Why don't you
beer?
roll into it?
Yeah.
I will. Number 1, hoppy.
Chris and I both immediately, as you started talking, went to pour at the exact same time into our mouth. And
Yeah.
we're like, hoppy, no.
Yeah, I would not put that here.
Number 2, smooth.
You go on this one, Chris. So you can speak for both of us.
Honestly, it is a little bit smooth, but it's not something that I would put in the top 5 flavor profiles, I don't think.
Okay, number 3, malty.
Yes.
I'd go with multi.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Number 4, bitter.
Yeah, I'm getting some bitterness.
Yeah, it definitely has that bitterness.
Okay. And number 5, caramel.
Yeah, I would put caramel there. I think we have to put something along the lines of like nutty, right?
Yeah, I'm still kind of like I still feel like biscuity to this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like
Or toasted or roasty or something like that.
yeah, maybe like a toasted bread. Maybe we
Yeah.
could go that way with it. I don't know. There's a
There's a,
biscuity
there's a
aspect to it.
roast or a toast. There's something to do with that in there.
Yeah, it's good hand motions too with your roast and your toast little dance. It's really cute.
Wait till we get video of all these podcasts and then like you just see all my finger motions I go through.
Yeah.
People are not gonna like that.
I don't want to see your finger motion.
There you go. Brett, carry us on. Why don't you segue into the next one?
Yes. So there is some people that also have had this beer before besides us, and they put their thoughts on Untapped. And Tyler, you have the very first one.
I do. So the first one is Christopher A. I love hoops and hops.
Could be Chris's burner account. He does love hoops and he loves his hops.
I probably would use a different name if it was my burner account, but
What would you use? You got a burner account.
that's a secret.
Fair.
Miles
Then it wouldn't be a burner account. You'd know it's me.
Miles Welby. So it's a decent IPA. This is their comment. Decent IPA like the Zeus and Chinook hop combo. Unique blend 3.75 out of 5.
All right. Next one comes from Dan B. Brenner DP is Dan's handle. And Dan said a little dank, a little pine, bitter all the way through. And Dan gave it a 3.25 out of 5.
But what is Tyler going to give it?
It's a very weird way of saying that.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't get you mid swallow, so you're
Yeah, I know. I appreciate that. Thanks for buying some time. I'm going to go ahead and give this I'm going to give it a 3.
Okay.
I was actually, I'm liking this maybe not more than I thought, but maybe more than I initially thought after the first couple of sips. It's getting better as I drink through it, so I'm going to give it a 3.75.
have given this a 3.75 before, so I'm actually going to stick with that same rating. I don't think the recipe. I don't think it's changed, so I'm going to stick with that. Producer Aidan giving it a 3.25.
There you go. So that's going to give us an overall score of 3.4375.
Oh, you jumped the gun.
There you go. I was thinking about it, and I realized that I didn't give it a 3.25. I gave it 3 because that's where I was between. So we're at 3.4375, which we will round on up to a 3.5.
Yeah. Well, I guess we're going to move on to act number 2 then. All right. Act 2, scene 2. No?
No, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah? Is it right?
I think it's right.
Act 2, you have a lot of beers, then you'll be seeing more than 2.
Well, the second beer we're having is Fryfogel Fox, which is a lager. And this one comes in at 4.5% ABV with 18 IBUs.
Yes, so the refreshing light Fryfogel Fox is named after the last remaining Canada Company tavern built along the Huron Tract. In 1828, Sebastian Fryfogel was commissioned to build on the Huron Tract close to Shakespeare.
Now, did he know William Shakespeare around that 1828 timeline?
Pretty sure they were roommates in college.
When Shakespeare was going to school here in Toronto, right?
Yeah.
Or something like
William
that?
Shakespeare IV was
He was in Melton at that time.
Anyway, construction of the current inn began in 1844. Not only was it huge as a stagecoach stop and inn, but also brought community together both politically and socially. The building ran as a tavern until 1867, as the Grand Trunk Railway was built in 1850 and became the more popular mode of transportation.
Thank you so much for the history lesson.
You're
Ryan.
welcome.
I appreciate that. The knowledge that you have is just...
It's just really on the can.
He can read.
That is one thing I can do, is I can read.
I mean,
Decently.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey,
3.5 out of
did I
5.
scream?
On Untapped.
3.5 Robert Munch books out of 5. Okay.
On Untapped, Fryfogel Fox has 355 check-ins and with an average of 3.41 out of 5.
Didn't say anything about writing, folks. I just said stuff about reading. Okay.
There's been 3 5 out of 5s.
Yes.
Okay.
Grab your much larger can.
Yes, that's the one thing we did not mention is the first can was 355. This one, 473.
And your glass. And let's open her up. Oh, my
And
goodness.
Shakespeare did used to use a lot of bottles. Producer Aidan just throwing that in.
Got her in my face there, fellas.
Like William Shakespeare used bottles?
I think so. I think he drinks beer out of bottles.
Well, of course, we're drinking this out of a can, as we mentioned, and we are pouring it into a pint glass, so make sure to use your proper glassware.
It's not like William Shakespeare's binge watching a series on Netflix, right? He needs something to do. Probably drank some beer.
And listens to the Craft Beer Connoisseurs.
Need some inspiration for his plays, right?
Exactly.
All right.
I don't know why there's not one named after us, for God's sakes.
Maybe because he didn't travel.
You know
time.
what? I think there was. It was called Taming of the Shrew.
I was thinking Midsummer Night's Dream, but okay, yeah, that's fine.
I'm a little dreamy. I get that. Thanks, Brett. Brett, before we get into this, do you want to do the can? Do you want to try your hand at the can?
Yes. Well, now that I know that the thing is called a rough.
Now that I know the thing is called a rough.
Lots of roughs going on, eh?
Now, this fox looks to be like a teacher in the 1800s, right? With the nice little. Now, you said molecule. No, it's not molecules. That's science. Nice little like glasses at the nose.
Is monocle.
Monocle, thank you. Nice little glasses just at the tip of the nose, and dressed. I believe it. I mean, what can we say? It's 1800s clothing. He's got the cane. His fox hands are on the cane at the bottom.
Yep.
Okay. All like power stance. You ever heard like power stance? Just like he's trying to show that he's got lots of power.
Looks very
Foxy? Yes. What were you going to say?
like a sly fox. Kind of like, I'm the boss.
Yeah. He is a boss ass fox. Let's just say that. Tyler, what are your thoughts?
Great can.
Again, the can art, top notch.
What does the fox say?
I'm not going to say that. The fox says, "What kind of glassware is?"
No, I said that already.
Oh, did you?
What does this beer look like?
That's what the fox says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Using the glasses that sit on the nose without arms,
Yeah.
Yes.
which are called
glasses.
Okay.
Spectacles.
As you can tell, I'm not up in my 1800s eyewear, folks.
You're still in the 1800s. Yes, not the 1800s.
We discussed this. 1700s.
I'm not up on, as a person who does not need glasses or wear glasses, I am not up on my eyewear.
There you go.
So monocles. We learned about monocles.
Spectacles?
Spectacles.
I thought the spectacle was just, us in a room talking about this beer, but okay.
And I think it's like Pinsents or something is something along those lines for those glasses.
I don't know.
It does have the rough, though. That thing that's called a rough.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm going to show up next time just for the rough. I'm probably going to buy it at Goodwill or something like that. And it is going to be a time.
At a Victorian costume store or something?
Yeah.
You could go
The Victorian Goodwill.
You could actually probably just go and get that from the theater warehouse.
I
in
could.
Stratford, actually.
Or a Goodwill that's probably on Victoria Street here in London, I'm pretty sure. Could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure there's one there.
Pretty sure you're wrong. So what do we see? We see a nice honey color.
Yeah.
You go
like
honey, light honey.
a tinge hazy. Like, not as clear as you might expect from a lager, but still, lager-ish.
Yep, for sure. No,
It smells like a lager.
It does smell like a lager.
smells like
yeah, that smells like a nice crisp lager, actually.
Smells like something that is going to go down real smooth and real easy.
Kind of like, when I take William Shakespeare's play and just throw it on the ground, the play goes down real nice and easy. I'm not a big reader.
All right, why don't you drink?
Yeah, that I can do.
I'll do the talking at this point in time. But yeah, no, it smells like a very stereotypical kind of lager on this one. Did you say that you've had this in the past?
I have not had this in the past, actually. I don't know why I haven't had it. I think
Aiden has.
Yeah, Aiden has.
Produce-
Makes sense.
producer
21 out
Aidan.
of 25, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, producer Aiden, not the owner. I'm sure the
Well,
owner.
the owner
I'm sure the
probably
owner's
has
had
as
it. Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah. I mean, people are breaking their backs, I'm just, you've probably had it.
I have not had this one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it definitely goes down nice and smooth.
I got to start drinking.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's-
you
this
take
is
some
your
sips.
time,
Hey,
yeah.
thank you so much, guys.
Definitely some crispness that comes through
Yeah.
on the first sips, as you would expect with a lager, a nice crisp lager. Nothing amazing about it jumping out, but
I think just simple, refreshing,
Yeah.
to the point.
nothing poorly done either.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that's...
Yeah, she's a sly fox.
So, yeah.
Yeah. It's nice. I agree with the crispiness of it. It's nice. Like, this is kind of one of those beers that does have a fair amount of flavor to it. For a lager, it's not like I'm turned off by it either. It's pretty straightforward with it, right?
That's my gig. When you hit the microphone, that's my...
Yeah, it didn't pick up on it though.
Ah,
Yeah.
true. You didn't touch it with your glass either, so you're...
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is a Brett special.
I mean, you ain't wrong.
All right, do you want to do the top 5 flavor profiles?
I did the first one, so Chris did this one.
You want to do these, Chris? Or do you
Yeah,
want me to?
sure.
Okay,
So the first one comes in as light.
Yeah, sure. Chris, do it. Okay, why not? Yeah, it's like.
Oh, did you want to do
No,
it?
no, it's fine.
No? Okay.
Next time.
You can do the
time.
next episode.
Oh,
man.
thanks, guys.
The next act, yes, you can
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's light. It drinks light. I feel like this is a. Do it. Wow. I'm going to save what I was going to just say because producer Aidan wrote it down. So I'll save it for
There you
after
go.
we're done with 5.
I think this is definitely a good patio beer for sure.
Yeah.
You guys are so similar.
No, we're not.
s-
Do never take that back right now.
Not a chance.
No.
so the second one comes in as malty. Yeah, Aiden's
No.
put, what's that, 6 question marks beside this one?
Pretty sure
is
he's really questioning it.
I would agree. I don't really get this one at all.
I don't either.
Number 3. Oh, this is so cute. Gentle.
Why is that cute?
I think it's cute too.
Thank you.
What am I doing here?
You're here for the can art.
I'll be honest.
Yes.
I've never seen gentle as a flavor profile.
I haven't either, but I also can kind of understand it though, right? Because it's not aggressive, obviously. It's not in your face. It's not like, and this kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier. It's a light drinking lager
yeah.
that is. It has flavor, but it's not something that's like, okay, I can pinpoint one specific thing, and it's just like that's all you get.
Yeah.
So I think gentle can almost go with balanced.
Yeah.
I do like how there's 300 something check-ins of this beer, and gentle has made its way as the number 3 flavor
And
profile.
I'm going to push that up.
Yeah?
Oh, I'm going to be using gentle for sure on that. I actually am glad that we have first come across, like this is the first time we've come across gentle.
Yeah, I didn't know that
Every
was an
single
option.
beer Tyler checks in now.
Yeah, it's
gentle.
going to be gentle.
Oh, only if it treats me right.
Maybe this is a gentle fox.
Ooh.
All right, so number 4 is sweetness. So Aidan saying move this up. I would agree. I'm getting actually a lot of sweetness on this one.
I'd almost put this in the number 1 spot.
I
After
wasn't gonna,
gentle, maybe?
Definitely over gentle.
I wasn't going to go number 1. I was going to go probably like
3.
2 or 3, but yeah.
Gentle could go up in 1 and 2. Yeah, it's interchangeable.
And then number 5 is
Cop out.
I guess the same thing. It's just sweet instead of sweetness. So kind of covered that base already.
Yep.
So yeah, Aidan said that, crisp needs to be here for sure. And then Tyler.
Yeah, so the one thing that I was going to say earlier on, just to kind of circle back on it, was crushable. Again, we know it's not a flavor profile, but I feel like this is a very crushable one. Kind of goes
100%.
back to, I believe, what you were saying, Brett, about a patio beer, is that if this is a hot summer day, then you can take this to town.
Yeah. And you can look up at the hops that are grown on the patio at Shakespeare as well.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. That's the top 5 flavor profiles.
There you go. So let's discuss some untapped users' thoughts.
Yeah. So I had the first one, and it is from Matt, and his handle is Glovebox22.
I like that handle. That's a nice handle.
You like a good glove box?
I just think it's unique. Like, who's like, hey, I'm going to create a handle, looks to the right when they're driving, boom, glove box.
The glove boxes don't get enough love.
By the
Let's
way,
just say
does anyone actually put their gloves in the glove box?
I always say, yeah,
he
you know
didn't
what?
know. Yeah, of
this
course
is
he
why.
does.
This is why I'm not like producer Aidan. This is exactly. Well, like what? The glove, don't fit. You must have quit. We got producer Aidan over here putting his actual gloves in a glove box. What a lunatic!
Mine has the driver manual for my car in it. That's about
Yep,
it.
that's
And the
about it.
insurance.
Yeah, insurance, yeah,
It's actually completely
useless.
because you have to reach over to
Yeah.
the passenger
Oh,
side.
don't mind me while I almost crash my vehicle while I take my eyes off the road because
My hands are cold, so I needed my gloves in my glove box.
Don't you guys have got heated steering wheels these days?
Yeah, but this is
Yeah,
the kind of guy
exactly.
that probably puts moisturizer in his gloves before he puts his hand into them just to soften it.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know.
Anyway,
It's wild.
This review from Matt: sharp nose, sharp bitterness, fruity aftertaste.
Okay.
He gave it a 2.75 out of 5.
I guess that's better than a sharp aftertaste.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's true.
True. So the next one comes from Justin P. Beer Palace is Justin's handle. And he said, just a cut the grass kind of beer. And Justin gave it a 3.25 out of 5.
I do agree with that. This would be a nice beer after cutting the grass.
Or during cutting the grass.
Yeah, that too.
There you go.
Yeah, smart.
Smart.
I'm a smart guy.
Yep.
Out of 5 bottle caps, I'm going to give this one a 3.5. Middle of the road for me.
Okay.
Very good. Easy drinking.
Yeah. As I said before, this is a prototype lager. Nothing, nothing very extraordinary about it. Nothing terrible about it. 3.5 for me.
All right. I'm going to go a bit higher than you guys. I'm going to go 3.75. I think this is on the higher end of what I would usually give a lager.
That's great. So this is going to give us.
Well,
wait, you got one more.
Yeah, producer Aidan. Don't forget about Aidan.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah. I'm still thinking of his gloves in his glove box.
I know, like who does that? So he's also giving it a 3.75. Same as he had off the tap at the brewery. So there you go.
There you go. I wonder if he drove to the brewery with the gloves on or in the box.
In the glove box.
It's tough to say.
And once he's had the heat on for a while, does he take the gloves off and then put them in the glove box?
Man of mystery. And we will find out at the next producers convention. That's going to give us an overall score of 3.625.
And that concludes the review of Shakespeare and the beers provided.
Yes. But we will take the 3.625 and move it up, right?
Yeah, no. Yeah, I'm kidding. Yes, we will.
All right. So it'll be a 3.75. All right. So the last act, Act 3.
Oh.
We're going to be discussing some of our favorite food items. All right. We are back.
We are.
So
For the
this
grand
is-
finale, right?
This is Act 3. This is it. This is the swan song.
The final act.
Keep this
What's
on
going to
the-
happen?
We just
Strap
got
it
back
up
after the
upon
intermission.
Avon,
This is
right?
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So inspired by the episode, kind of looked at actually really not the episode. Kind of looked at the day in which this is releasing, which is really, I guess, today.
Yes, that would be accurate.
And you know what today is? May 11th.
May 11th, yeah.
And you know what they say about May 11th? Nothing. What they say in the U.S. is it is National Eat What You Want Day.
Preach.
Do what you want.
That is every day for me.
Eat what you want. Today is the day in which you can do it, and that is America.
Amen.
Now, it also has got National Crouton Day, which is May 13th. So this
Which I
is...
did not believe until you gave me the market research behind that before off air.
Yeah, I wouldn't lie to you. That's a Canadian thing. So we wanted to kind of touch base on some foods. And the way that we're going to do this is breakfast is just kind of one kind of holistic meal. What would you have for breakfast? We're going to talk about that. Then we're going to talk about the 3 courses for your kind of like, we'll go dinner, because lunch and dinner can be mixed on what you, on what you want, right?
Lunch is kind of, lunch is whatever.
Right.
It's really about breakfast and dinner.
For sure. So we'll keep it short. We'll keep it simple, because the thing is you're listening to this podcast. You've now found out that's National Eat What You Want Day. We don't want to hold you back.
Eat what you want. Treat yourself.
Treat yourself.
24/7, 365.
There you go. All right. So breakfast. We're going to do this round table as we like to do breakfast. For me, I will kick it off because this is my episode. I don't care what Aidan says, the producer, that is, not the brewer. I am a big fan of French toast. I like a French toast, and we've got into the habit at my in-laws when we spend the night to get stacked. Have you guys heard of stacked?
I have heard of it and never had it.
There's a stack coming to Stratford, I believe.
Oh, yes, I did hear it.
So there's a chain. It's a breakfast chain. They have some really good breakfast foods. Not a big breakfast guy usually, but I will go with a French toast, usually with some like blueberries or some fruit, some drizzle. I think the last time I had it was a blueberry French toast strudel. It was delicious.
I'm just surprised you ate.
Yeah, thank you so much. I've also been drinking a lot of water recently.
He ate before noon. Oh my goodness.
Amazing.
I had a block,
I don't.
I had a block of cheese halfway through this episode.
Jalapeno, I may add. I had a cut of it. It was very good.
Not bad. Producer Aidan says, Hungry Man's Breakfast. Now, here's the thing. Okay, I keep it like simple. Producer Aidan, he's got his hands in his gloves. Says, Hungry Man's Breakfast with all 3 meats, bacon, ham, sausage, eggs, over easy. Extra home fries instead of pancakes and rye toast. We're not at a diner.
Is there anything else you'd like with that, sir?
We're not at a diner.
Maybe a cup of coffee? No, he doesn't drink coffee.
Now, you buttering that toast yourself, or is that coming pre-buttered? Pre-buttered, you know, lazy sack of...
Actually, it might come from the butter that's in his gloves almost, right?
Hand butter. Chris, what do you got for breakfast? What's your go-to?
I'm going to go BLT. Oh, yeah. Yeah. You kind of get, that sandwich that you might have at lunch, but like that bacon with, everyone knows
lettuce.
Everyone knows what's on a BLT. It's just really good. I love myself a good BLT for
A little
breakfast.
salt and pepper on that?
Now, you
100%
guys may
nice.
hate me for this, but I'm not really a huge breakfast guy.
I'm not either.
I'm kind of the same as
literally
Tyler.
said
I
that,
really
yeah.
don't eat before noon.
Yeah.
I eat a lot after noon. But besides the point, I'm just a basic, couple scrambled eggs and some bacon.
Couple scrambled eggs and some bacon.
Breakfast is the most important meal.
That's what they say, but...
And that explains why I don't have it.
Here's the thing is, look at where I'm at today. I think I'm doing okay. Okay, so what we're going to do with this here is 3-part kind of main course meal. So let's start with the appetizer. Let's say you're going out. I'm going to set the scene here a little bit. You're going out. Say it's a very important business dinner. Like maybe a podcast is going to do a collaboration.
We need to be having a dinner like that soon too, right?
Right? We're going out. It's fancy dancy. Okay.
Oh.
Appetizer.
Is it fancy or is it just whatever you want?
It's fancy because I'm involved.
Yeah, try and go a little upscale a bit. You know what I mean? Like, we're going for a good dinner here.
Okay.
Appetizer. I'm going with a nice bruschetta. Very nice.
You can't go wrong.
You
with
can't.
a bruschetta.
And the thing is the thing with it is like you're gonna get it in like the winter. It's nice. You get a nice crispness to it.
Yeah.
You get in the summertime. Again, it's very light, fresh ingredients. Very nice. Does somebody else want to give the producer?
Yeah, so he loves a good classic Caesar salad.
Now,
maybe with some croutons for National Crouton.
Yeah.
That's true. I was going to say, does producer understand that Caesar salad is made with some seafood in it, like a very classic one, and very good with the anchovies. You're okay with that. Not a big fan of it. So maybe not the classic Caesar salad, maybe the modified Caesar salad. Okay.
Fair enough.
Maybe some parm on top. Yeah,
Yes.
there you go.
Bacon bits.
Yeah.
There you go.
So I didn't go quote unquote fancy.
You don't have to, but I'm just
Okay.
thinking, treat yourself. We just talked about that.
I'm going to go with a nice plate of nachos.
I don't
It's
think
a
it's
heck of an appetizer. All right. If you're out like a...
Like to split amongst
yeah,
the table,
okay, okay.
right? Okay.
Party nachos. Okay.
Yeah.
Like any kind of meat?
Yeah, some ground beef on
You're
top.
beef guy, not chicken guy?
Yeah,
Beef
got to
before
go
chicken.
ground beef.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jalapenos?
Oh, absolutely.
absolutely.
100%.
That's why I love you.
Sure.
Yeah.
For myself, honestly, one of my favorite appetizers
I don't like breakfast.
is if you go into like a nice upscale restaurant, the free bread that they provide.
A simple Italian bread.
Right? Like you can't go wrong. It's like freshly baked. It's nice and soft. Put some butter on it or some whatever else they provide. And you eat
Sometimes
it.
just it's
Some
oil,
olive oil, maybe.
olive oil, vinegar
whatever,
mix
right?
or whatever, balsamic mix.
I love how you're saying, my appetizer is the free bread that comes
Yeah.
with my meal.
That's good. You cheapskate.
I do cheap out on some things. Other things I do not cheap out on.
There you go.
Yep.
All right. Now for the main course. For myself, I am a big fan of pizzas, but if I'm going out to a nice restaurant, I do enjoy the Italian side of things. So I'm going with like a white cream Alfredo sauce pasta, vegetables, maybe some chicken thrown in there, like maybe like a carbonara. Throw a little bacon into that, some cheese, lots of cheese. And when they say, would you like pepper with that? Yeah, I would. And I want you to keep going till your wrist is sore.
Yeah, don't stop.
Don't stop.
You do enjoy a good pepper grinder.
I do. Absolutely. Brett, why don't you say Producer Aidan's?
Big fan of the tomato-based pasta. I don't know if it's a specific kind of noodle that's involved with that. But
No,
as
I
long as
didn't
it's
see any
tomato
noodle.
sauce based,
Probably
with
not a
some
rice
noodles,
noodle.
Right.
Probably not. That's basic and simple.
Okay.
That's the point.
Well,
Chris?
if we're going kind of a little bit upscale, I'm going to go with a nice prime rib. Like rare, I think, with a prime rib.
Okay.
Yeah. That's with mashed potatoes on the side.
Like a garlic mash?
Yeah. Maybe some green beans.
Honestly, why are we not married?
I feel like that is a meal I would have at your guys' reception.
Yeah. We
Yeah,
can make this
maybe.
work. That
Let's do
actually
it.
sounds really
Yeah.
good. But just
for
by
me,
Sarah.
I guess we both have to get divorced.
Whatever.
It might be somewhat costly.
Not really.
For myself, I'm more of just like if somebody's going to make a home-based pizza, right?
Yeah.
I am A-okay with just trying out whatever kind of homemade pizza they're going to make and eating it. I'm simple.
Yeah.
You are very
Nice pizza.
simple.
You're right about that.
We
I'm
can,
very, very simple.
we can agree with that. No problem.
Do you want to know what's not simple? Dessert.
Oh, you're conflicted a bit?
What a segue.
Your best one yet.
Dessert. So for me, not a big sweets guy. I don't really have a whole lot. I'd go with maybe like a brownie, maybe like a molten lava cake, but I'm also a big fan of cheesecake. And this is where the similarity might be drawn between me and Producer. Not a huge dessert guy, but cherry raspberry cheesecake. And I can tell you, last week I had a really nice cheesecake at Anna Mae's. So
I would take a maze.
yeah,
Nice. Good
check
call.
it out. Check it out.
I've been there, yes.
Well, I love a good cheesecake too, but since both you and Aidan took that one, I'm going to go with a nice tiramisu.
I am not going to go with that whatsoever. Not a chance. My actual personal favorite, if I could segue to that.
Or just say it.
Yeah.
Or just like it's your
I'm
turn.
a huge fan of apple pie, and I'm a huge fan of cheesecake.
Good call, yeah.
And the Cheesecake Factory, which is at Le Dippery in Stratford, has an apple pie cheesecake that I probably dummy once a month. Not the whole thing, it's just a slice, but it is.
Cool. All right. And then kind of like what's your like go-to brewery food? I'll start. I'm going to say this. It's not necessarily my favorite, but it is one that I like to have because you only really see it at breweries and kind of like ball diamonds. is like a nice warm soft pretzel with like a beer cheese or kind of the mustard. I don't mind the mustard, but I do enjoy a beer cheese dip as well. Chris, why don't you say producers and then roll into yours? Bud?
Yeah, so Aidan loves a good burger. So I kind of took
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order, please?
I kind of took like the snacking approach. I like to snack when I'm having beer. I like peanuts. So shell on, cracking the shell open, eating the peanuts, throw the shell on the floor. I love that.
Memories, eh? Doesn't
Yeah.
that bring you back?
Yeah, rock bottom.
Rock bottom.
Yeah, there you go.
Windsor, Ontario, no longer
For
there.
myself, I'm gonna do two. One in Canada, one in the States. In Canada, I do enjoy popcorn. I do like having popcorn with my
You
beer.
hate popcorn in the States, though, right?
In the States, they have everybody's place has pizza logs, like an egg roll with like pizza and pepperoni and cheese in it.
Oh, they have that at Anderson.
Oh, okay. I need to go to Anderson very soon then.
Yeah.
Those things are damn tasty. So I guess Anderson in Canada too. I guess I go there now too. But yeah, pizza logs, the absolute top notch food to have at a brewery.
There you go. So, I think that's our food items, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
So,
I'm hungry now.
I was just going to
Very
say.
much so. Yes.
So, National Eat What You Want Day. Make sure you eat whatever you want.
And treat yourself.
Treat yourself. We'll be right back with our farewell. And scene.
Oh,
That's all for today's episode.
thank you again for listening. Keep on listening every other Thursday as the Craft Beer Connoisseurs release a new episode, and on our off Thursdays for a producer special.
And make sure to tell your friends, family, and your favorite Shakespearean actor.
There you go. So, from all of us and producer Aidan, I'm Tyler.
I'm Brett.
And I'm Chris, and together we're the Craft Beer Connoisseurs.